everyone. Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Narlo here. Say hello to everyone, Narlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were way up over yonder at Ostforad, across the bridge, across the fields and up the hill. And we had just finished finding a couple of things. We found the moldy book, and we had word from Robin Dunkley that Calenglad was wanting to speak to us. So we took the stable down here back to Tinandir, and we need to find Kulang and Calenglad. Now Kulang should be over here. He was the gentleman that sent us on that quest. Remember, we had found the pieces of torn scroll work, and he put them together, deciphered them, and sent us on the quest to find all those treasure markers. And I think that's him right there. It is. So let us go talk to him right quick. See if we can interrupt his pacing.
Shadow is on my spirit.
Let's let him know that we found this moldy book in the final marker. What is that you bear? A book reclaimed from the stone marker itself. Amazing, Narlo. Give it here so I may examine it. Time has not been kind to this book, but some of it appears to be legible. The diary of some member of the landowner's family. A daughter, unless I miss my guess. This is a true treasure from Narlo, a record from our distant past. This is more precious than I expect you to find. I thank you for your efforts and the weariness of your limbs. It was a long journey, but for such a find to be returned to us from out of the darkness is a thing of joy. Please take this reward along with my heartfelt gratitude. Okay, let's see. We can't use a rune stone. That's 618. We can't use the javelin. It's 638. Kulang's club. That is actually an improvement to both of them, isn't it? Indeed it is. So I think we're going to go with that one. Wow. Finishing a quest and actually getting an item that we can use for a change. I am impressed. Alrighty. So now we're going to head right over here to the camp. And let's talk to Calenglad. Let's find out what information he got from the Blue Lady. The Blue Lady is the spirit who raised the waters of the lake to protect the ruins of Innuminas over there and the tombs of the kings. And if you remember, we were trying to find information about the, is it Silithrin? Silithrin? Let's see what it was. Good. Robin Dunkley. I can't remember what it's called right now. It's one of the minor cousins of a Silmaril. A glowing adamant that we need to collect. Oh, I love that statue looming up there. Glowing adamant that we need to collect in order to reforge Narsil. So let's talk to Calenglad here and see what information he has for us.
What do you need?
Silithar, that was the name I'm looking for. I'm glad to see you again, Narlo, and to know that you have not been idle while I journeyed. Robin spoke of the aid you rendered, and I believe that the people of Ostforad are better for your service. I have spoken with Gwendeth about acquiring the Silithar for Aragorn, but she is not satisfied with what I have told her of you. She needs to meet you herself. Okay.
How can I be of service?
We're going to meet the Blue Lady. A meeting with the Blue Lady. Gwendeth has agreed to speak with you, Narlo, but do not misunderstand. She will only allow us to recover the Silithar if she believes that you are worthy of her trust, and that Aragorn is ready for the burden that awaits him. She did not hesitate to rebuke him when he and I encountered her almost 60 years ago. I have no doubt that she would do it again if it was her mind. Speak to her with respect, and do not seek to hide anything from her. The Blue Lady has lived in these lands for years uncounted, and she has patience only for the kings of Innuminas. It is said that Elendil consulted her often on various matters, and she grieved his passing. She lives at Gwendethrond, a cave in western Emmanuel, behind a clear waterfall that pours from the heights and feeds a shady pool at Rushingdale. You will need to circle the lake, for the pool is tucked among the hills on the far side of Ninuil. It will be a long journey, for Rushingdale is on the far side of Ninuio, west and slightly south even of Tinandir and Tailruinen. Alright, so we need to find Gwendeth. And honestly, I don't believe that any boat goes over in that direction. I think that the closest that they get is probably there at the Even Rails. Let's pull up the map here right quick as we look across a lovely lake. Tailruinen. So there is actually one there. We could take the boat across there. I was thinking that. I'm wanting to say that somewhere right along in this area, I think, is where we were going to have to go. So we can either take the boat. Let's see where it goes. Tailruinen. Let's see how much that is. That's that island right here that we're looking at. You're going to charge me like 20 silver to get there. How can I be of service? Yep, 20 silver. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swim. It was good enough for me in the old days. It's going to be good enough for me now. Make sure I'm headed in the correct direction. Yep. So we are going to take off and we are going to start swimming. Whoop. No, that is not where we're going to go. This is the one we were going to go. That's the one that the boat leads to, right? Yes. We were fixing to go off to part of Inuminas there. Well, we're going to head on over this way, and part of the reason why I'm swimming as well is there's a little Easter egg I want to show you also. So when I get closer to our destination, I will let you know. In the meantime, we will watch the spires of... what is that? Til Anun. Passing us by. This gentleman here is Andol, the boat keeper. He's the boat keeper here on Tailruinen. Here are his boats. As you see, right over there is Tinandir, where we left from. Right about there is where the boat keeper is. Over there is where the small encampment is with Calenglad and all. And here's the large mansion that is still there that they're using for the base. There's Til Anun, still looming up on our side. So we have reached about the halfway point of the lake. You see we're right here where the Horsehead is. And we've got about half of it left to go. So we are going to dive on out. I believe the place we are looking for is right along that shore there. You see where the cliffside is. I think there's a waterfall and a little lake, a little pond right in there. That is where we need to go, which was where Gwendeth the Blue Lady lives, behind that waterfall. But I also want to hit this little island here as we come across and show you an Easter egg that I bet most people don't see anymore because they're too busy taking the boats around the lake to actually get out here and swim along and find the hidden little things. So I will rejoin you when we get closer to the little beach there. We have almost reached the little island here. I'll show you where we are on the map. It's that little spot right there. I do believe that this is where I'm trying to get to. Not to fulfill the quest, but to see the little, that's something new. That explorer wasn't there the last time I was here. It's been a long time since I was here, but I certainly don't remember him. I was also going to show you why we're here. If you look now in this direction, since we're past all that, get a good view of the statue off in the distance, straddling the river. And over here you can see parts of Inuminas. The closest parts of Inuminas popping in. Some popping out, some popping in. You can see a bit of the docks there. There's actually, if you get closer up to it, there are buildings that cover all up in that hill area right up in there. Of course, they're all popped out right now, which is a shame because it would be quite an impressive sight. And I do have my view distance turned out all the way. So if you could see them, you'd be able to see them. Now let me see. There's what I'm looking for. Right there. It's a little sandcastle. That's one of the Easter eggs that you can find here in Middle Earth. That was one of the earliest ones we found. It was really nice. That, and I'll have to show you sometime the snowman. There's a big snowman over in Arid Luine that I'll have to show you sometime. But I thought that would be fun to look at. It's nice to know that not everybody comes out here as full of doom and death and gloom and ruin. Some people take the time to build sandcastles. Let's go see this guy. I ain't never seen him before. DeWitt the Explorer and Floyd the Mighty Steed. New deed, the adventures of Floyd and DeWitt. Found Floyd and DeWitt in Evendam. Alright, that's something I have never seen before. Apparently this is a deed. Indeed, the adventures of Floyd and DeWitt, 1 of 7. You are a great explorer of Middle-earth, so we found him here. Apparently you can also find him in Dunlin, the Enidwaith, the Lone Lands. I'll have to look there the next time we're there. Lothlorien, Mirkwood, and Moria. And we get the Wanderer if we can find him. Does it say? You're a great explorer of Middle-earth. Apparently Floyd and DeWitt here must be traveling all over the place just like we are. So it's nice to know that we found him here, but we will definitely have to search for him in the Lone Lands. Good to see you, sir. We will salute you. Okay, now back onto our mission. That is definitely where we are headed. I remember that little hollow there. So it's back into the water for another swim. And the blue lady ought to like us because we're going to be about as wet as she is. And we are approaching the little hollow there. So we've gotten close and more details have come in. There's the waterfall, the crystal clear waterfall we were looking for. And I'll guarantee you there is a pool at the bottom of it as well. Now entering the southern Emin Uyul. Okay. Very pretty little grove here. This is the Rushing Dale. Don't believe there should be anything that would harm us here. It's another one of those places that, kind of like Lothlorien, the only evil there is what you bring yourself. So let's see if we can pass on through behind the waterfall. There we are. Beautiful sight. We'll go on deeper in through the cave. Now, isn't this a lovely place? Let's see if we can, make it a platforming puzzle. We're not quite jumping, and there ain't no place to jump here, so let's just go on through. Such beautiful moss and everything on the walls, and the beautiful crystals. And I think we are approaching our quarry up here. Yep, there you see her off in the distance. Isn't this a beautiful spot? One of those places that makes you wonder. It's kind of like when you see Rivendell in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. It's like, okay, you've got a valley that has all these waterfalls rushing into it. How come it doesn't flood? Where does the water go? But you just have to kind of go, well, it's elf magic. That's where the water goes. And in fact, when you're talking about Quindeth here, you're talking about a magic that is far, far older than any of the elves. So let us go on up. Moss snakes, moss frogs. Let's go on up and approach the lady. I was a friend to the kings of old. Can you say that? I think I see why they call her the Blue Lady. Similar to Goldberry, but a little different.
Pray your need is worthy of my time.
You are the messenger from Aragorn, son of Arathorn, lord of the Dunedain. You speak with his voice, and he shall be judged by yours, messenger, for he chose you as his agent. If there is much of Elendil in him, I do not doubt that Aragorn, son of Arathorn, will be found worthy. If there is not, the Silithar will remain where it has lain for centuries.
Why don't you trouble me?
Okay, look at there. We are now known to the Wardens. We got experience with the Innuminus just by talking to her. Corrupted beast of Ninuil. Before he went away to his doom, Elendil often spoke with me beside Ninuil. We would walk along the reeds and speak of his kingdom, and he treated me with grace and respect. It is for the memory of great Elendil that I maintain the lake and protect the relics of his line. At the behest of Amleth, the last king to sit enthroned in Innuminas, I permitted the waters of Ninuil to wash over the walls of the city, and the treasures of proud Elendil now sleep soundly in the watery half-light. The adamant you seek, the Silithar that passed from Gilgalad to Elendil, and his line through the safekeeping of Círdan the shipwright, cannot be reclaimed without my permission. It was the will of Amleth that the Silithar be kept safe, even from those of Elendil's line, for fear that its light would be wasted unduly, or the stone taken by the enemy. The islands of Til Ruinen have been overrun with salamanders, corrupted beasts that singe the grasses and taint the waters of Ninuil. Swim northeast to Til Ruinen in the center of the lake and defeat the salamanders you find there. Perhaps when you return I will have proof of the worthiness of Aragorn, son of Arathorn, through his messenger. So we need to go back to Til Ruinen and defeat 10 salamanders. So let us head back up that way. Beautiful, beautiful creature, but very haughty and very dangerous. Alright, I'm going to take a look at what deeds and all happened. First we got the store. Title was awarded, known to the Wardens. Deed completed was the acquaintance standing, for which we got 5 turbine points. Deed bestowed, as we've got to earn friendship standing with them now. And our reputation changed. Wardens of Innuminas. We've got 152 of 20,000 points, so we need to get 20,000 points to get to be friends with them. Alright, so we are going to make our way back out of Gwyndothrond here. And I'm assuming Gwyndothrond, Thrond is like Nargothrond and other things. It'd be like a cave. Thinking maybe that's a suffix in Elven meaning a cave perhaps, or a fortress like Nargothrond was in the Silmarillion. And Gwyndith, of course, meaning belonging to Gwyndith. So this is like Gwyndith's cave or Gwyndith's dwelling or Gwyndith's fortress. I'll have to take a look and see exactly what the etymology of that is and the meaning. Meanwhile, we're going to come back out of the Rushing Dale. Such a beautiful spot. But this is a exact kind of reason why you can't have open world housing in this game. Because I guarantee you there'd be 3 houses lined up along here, a couple up on those banks right there, and probably one right in the center of the pool. Okay. Of course, mine would be one of the ones sitting right there, so there you go. Alright, so now, you see where we are right here. We're now going to swim across to Til Ruinen and see if we can get us some salamanders. Okay, we're approaching the island. There are a good deal of salamanders along the shore here, and a statue that I wasn't familiar with. I'm sure it was here the last time. It's just that I'm not quite familiar with it. It wasn't the kind of thing I was expecting to see. Although I've spent a lot of time on this island. Alright, let's see if we can go ahead and take out one of the salamanders. Is that... distract him? Is that gonna work? Nope, he got to us before we could. See, he's already getting ready to spray us with fire. But they're not too tough of creatures. If I can get my butt out of the fire here. That was damaging more and more than anything else was. Alright, we got one salamander down. You see, defeat salamanders, another slayer deed, 120. To get salamander slayer. So that's what we're going to do now. We are going to continue hunting these things down. Until we can kill off the 10 that Gwendeth is wanting us to have. And prove to her our worthiness and our willingness to protect Numinous from the deadly creatures that have taken over. Ugh. That's one thing that I've got to say that I don't like about the new loot system here. Is that sure, that's one of the kings of Numinous, Elendil or Isildur or one of the others. That statue time has not been kind to the statue. But as I was saying, that's one thing I don't like is the fact that in the old days, whenever you slaughtered one of the creatures or mobs or something that laid there, you actually had time to sit and look at it for a little while and see the detail that they had put into the graphic work on it. Whereas now, you have to do that, you know, while you're fighting it, and you don't get the chance to see it up close and spend a little time examining it while it lies there as a corpse. Take you down before you can ignite the goo that you sprayed all over us. Because you see, I'd like to look at them a little bit more. They've put a lot of attention and detail into these models. Anyway, this is what we're going to be doing. We've got 7 more to kill. And we will catch up with you whenever we're ready to head back over to Gwendeth. And we are closing in on our final quarry here. Let's go ahead and get him ready. Feel weakness. Distract him. And take him out. Yep. Got you before you could set me on fire. Alright, so now back to Gwendeth. Now, quick swim back over to the cave of Gwenthrond, and we will see you inside. And we are back in Gwenthrond, getting rather pruny. Tell you, I can't imagine the number of trips back and forth across that lake that my dwarf Glenorin made over the years. There were times when, honestly, if you were down in Tinadir, down at the southern part, I can't show you there, but if you were down at Tinadir at the southern part and need to travel to the northern reaches, you would just point yourself across the lake, making sure you skirted any islands and all, put yourself on auto run, and then walk away, go have a pee, make a cup of coffee, grab a sandwich, and come back, and you might be getting close to the north end of the lake when you came back. So I can definitely say I do recognize the need for having the boatsmen out there. It's definitely made things a little bit easier. But as you see, you miss out on stuff like Floyd and the sandcastle there. So let's show Gwendeth the...
Pray your need is worthy of my time.
Let's show her the loot that we have gained and see if that will show her our dedication to the cause. You have defeated some of the salamanders that look now on Til Ruinen. There are many who would do such a thing when asked. Why should this prove yourself worthy of what you seek, or prove that Aragorn has grown since last I saw him? 'Cause you told me to
Mind
do
my
it,
words,
you
traveler.
blue murder. A friend to the kings of old. Did you see the statues of noble Elendil that stand upon Til Ruinen, messenger? One of them has been corrupted by the vile salamanders, tainted with dread ichor, and the other has been removed from his pedestal. The statue itself has been lost. If you can restore both of these statues, I may be able to more readily judge your worth and the worthiness of Aragorn, son of Arathorn. When both statues of mighty Elendil once more stand untroubled on the southwest and southeast shores of Til Ruinen, I will speak to you again on this matter. You will need a cleansing draught of some sort to restore the statue the salamanders have ruined. Elves have come to the Evenspires, far to the north and east of Rushingdale, where a stream flows into the lake. They may prepare such a draught for you. I do not know where you may find the missing statue. Perhaps the scavengers of Ostforad have seized it. You know what, lady? I think I might be able to help you with that statue. Alrighty. As loath as I am to turn my back on her, whew, she's got a bit of a glare. That is where we are going to call it an episode. I hope you don't mind if I smoke. Even Gandalf smokes. So that's where we're going to call it an episode. So when we finish off, we're going to continue proving our worth, and somehow proving Aragorn's worth by proving our worth. And we will go restore the corrupted statue, go up to Longbow and his friends to find the draft to do that, and then I suppose it will be back off to Ostforad to find if our friend has finished putting the pieces of the statue together. So that's where we're going to leave it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.